Happy day.
That don't look bad.
Look nice, much better.
That don't look bad at all. That look nice.
Yay!
That look nice. As you come on to the live, trust me, make your comments. Our previous video where Simo was doing this actually wiped my face, and when I was trying to create a thumbnail, that's the best I could get. So if the new lighting that we put up makes sense,
How you know it?
if you can see us looking better, then you can understand why maybe so glad to get it. Yeah. So welcome again to another
Conversation with Elise.
release in bright colors. Huh? Yes. This ring light thing look nice. Anyway, how is your Sunday? How is your day? Um, for those who went to church, I hope it was good. We had a wonderful time in the house of the Lord today too.
Happy Sunday.
And we just want to say welcome to our 242 subscribers. Not bad at all, but we need to get to 1,000, guys.
Yeah.
So you have to help us, like, share, subscribe, send it to a friend, make a friend, send it to another friend, and a friend, send it to another friend. But nevertheless, we are here and we're having fun, and we love doing what we're doing. We love coming to you on Sundays. We love doing the midweek vlogs and post them. Um, it's just, we enjoy doing it. And the truth of the matter is, we want to keep doing what we're doing, especially when we hear from you. So please don't be afraid to share your comments. If we look better on the light, share your comments. Whatever. You saw the topic, and so we're going to have a little chat on that. Because you know what we do here. We inform, we share experiences. For some, it may be education. Yeah, because we don't say or pretend that we know everything.
Yeah.
But if you're here for the first time, the genesis of this YouTube channel came because she bad me about it. And then we had our 20th year of wedding anniversary last year, December 23rd.
Yes.
Don't forget your wedding anniversary, guys. Yeah. And so we thought it would be a good little jump or stepping stone to create a channel around relationship, around Christian living, around the experiences we have had. And of course, we want to make it interactive so you get a chance to express, and we will take your suggestions, we'll take your ideas, and we'll just make the channel very interesting. And of course, if you have been watching, you can testify, said why you have a lot of things to laugh about too. Yes? So go back and watch. We're gone 40 videos. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
From January till now. 40 videos we're gone. So if you're watching the live, you have 39 videos we got to catch up with. And you when you catch up with the 39, we still have more on. Because we want to keep you.
So there is nothing to sustain.
Yeah. So you see the topic, and tonight we are going to just have a little chat about it. But as I said, when you come to class, we call it class, right? The first thing you do is to like the live, right? And then you register for class. And of course, we would love to hear who is online, so you can indicate who you are, and we give you a shout out. Listen to me now. Don't bother wait till we get massive and big. Then the shout outs will start with us now, right? And when we start, so when we reach hundreds of thousands of subscribers, we will still be giving our people our original shout out and thumbs up.
Yes,
for the support.
Putting that out there, like for instance, person who maybe want to shout out, maybe their vlogs or something like that. It has to be something that is in line with our morals. Also.
Well, I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey Ken, good night, sis.
Hey, Karen,
Welcome,
welcome,
welcome. Happy to
welcome,
have you.
welcome. Right, yeah. Because we are a Christian couple, we follow the Lord Jesus Christ, and we make no bones about it. But we are here to share our journey, both as Christians and just generally in life, because we believe that while we are here on the earth, we must live well, we must enjoy life, and at the same time, you have an opportunity to choose Christ. But we won't force him on you, but we'll encourage you. Yes? But we want to look at situations that occur in everyday life and how we have dealt with it, how God has helped us to deal with them. And we recommend the same thing for you, especially in the Christian fraternity, if you want to call it that. A lot of real talk now go on sometime, and we are going to bring that dose of realness. 20 years of marriage, trust me, we might have something to talk about. Yeah, yeah. All right, so we're talking about giving space. Um, and it is a very, very, I believe, is a very serious topic, because we have seen lives that have, and as I say, certain things that we speak about may not be our own experiences, but over 20 years, you'd have met friends, you have met people, and you'd have talked to people, you'd have conversations with people, and of course, ironically, our channel is called what? Conversation with Elise.
Oh, and I just remember yesterday was my brother's Ralston's birthday.
Yeah,
So
Ralston.
birthday,
Happy birthday,
Ralston. Big
Ralston.
up yourself.
Yes, yes. Big up yourself, Raleigh.
And hi Lorena.
His wife. Right. So our channel, of course, is called Conversation with Elise. So all the conversations we'd have had in our lifetime up to this point, we use other people's experience, yes, to help us to talk with you and to communicate and to share what we think, what we know, and to share what we think can work. You understand me? So yeah, giving space. As I said, we have seen and and spoken to people who have had relationship who have long distance. Let's see, and we're looking at everything now. We know persons who have had long distance relationship and those have worked.
Yeah.
But we know persons who have long distance relationship and it not work. So and then of course there is the situation where now you have you're a couple, right? There's some times that you need space and time for yourself.
Mhm.
When the Bible said that we become one flesh, it don't mean we are Siamese twin. Everywhere you go, she did it, and
Each of one and
no,
it's.
no, you understand me? And of course, we want to examine all of that. So we can talk, we can speak from where we are, in the sense that when we when we got married, um, we were all into each other,
Yeah.
and we still are still.
Still are. You make it. We were. Come on now.
No, in the sense that dealing with the topic now.
Yeah, I understand. Just
Yeah.
like same with you.
So yeah, we were all into each other, and
Hi, Ron. Welcome, cuz.
welcome, Ron.
Big up
Welcome. Big up
yourself.
yourself, Ron. Um, yeah. So we were all into each other. We still are, as we said, but there are times, there are times when each of us need a little space. Um, I, for one, and I tell you guys, I'm like super happy all my things set up, my life, my home. For example, when I come home, I come home from a hard day's work or whatever, and I reach in. Tell me what are a couple of things I do first, since you're supposed to know.
Of course, when you're reaching, the first thing you do, if you're super exhausted, you take off your clothes. First, we greet
Yeah,
each other. If you're super
and oh,
exhausted,
great.
of course, we should see each other.
Yeah,
Then, if you're not rushing for the bathroom, your room is the bathroom. Not gonna take off your clothes, you throw them yourself and say, "Oh, I'm so tired. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes."
and
Or
because of Corona, Sharon, don't go to the
yeah,
bed.
I have to tell it's coronavirus, so you have to go on bed before you can lay down. I don't see anything wrong with that. And then after that, no, depend what time it is, you may eat something. and after that you'll check CNN, and then now you'll take your phone with your FIFA, his FIFA game, and then he goes to use the. I don't even know if he's using the bathroom paper. I think it's a habit. Before he goes to bed, he has to have his phone, and then in the bathroom, then bed, then come and.
But listen, it's a there's a method to the madness. You understand me? Here's a method to the madness.
But I give him his space. I do all of
Ah,
that.
you understand me? I said
Yeah,
because she loved to watch
yeah.
her
I love to watch
drama thingy and whatever the thing is.
Korean or
She
dramas.
gone all far India and all and
Not
Turkey and
not
all them
either, right?
places.
Turkey
You
movies,
understand
but
me?
you
You
have to
understand?
read because I cannot speak their language, so I have to read the caption. But it is fun.
So me now, when me come home and do all of what she say me do, me go to the bathroom and me just in the
Yeah,
bathroom and
de-stress.
although well, it's my little time that basically a my little time that to just unwind and just release stress. Sometimes, thank God, where we live in, we have a bathtub, so we do know more time just full it up of water. She's like, oh, so is the males using the bathtub and not the females? So yeah,
You take a soap versus if I'm going to do that to unwind, I need the oils, I need the candles, and
well,
all of that.
I don't need
So
no island
if
candle.
you
I just
have the
need
time,
the
no bother.
bathtub and it full of water. And yeah, we just go in there, we just lay on the water, right up to my neck, and we just chill.
Yes, you do.
And she don't
De-stress.
bother me. The
No, you
kids
need your
don't bother
time to
me.
unwind.
And we
That's fine.
just did there and we just chill. And of course we probably play a couple rounds is that
FIFA.
really FIFA? Is first touch soccer we use. Right? So but that is my little time and space. But the truth of the matter is I'm really giving her little space
Yes, you
because
do.
when I'm in there and I'm relaxing and de-stressing, yeah, I play my game or whatever. I'm in the tub soaking or whatever. When we come up, me shrivel up like raisin, all parts. All right, just say. Anyway, back to the story. She's in the room. she's
Yeah, I'm watching
she's
my
whatever,
show.
right? So that is and that is my routine every single day. So when I come home, I and except for church in church, I mean when we go to church on Sundays,
Or if
um,
you're really stressed, you'll say, they finish being you say, rub my head for me, rub my head.
oh well, yeah, yeah.
Well,
But that is
work,
when,
the
as I said,
workload turn up.
my brain kind of get a little stressed out a bit. I will go in and I mean I lie on her head and lie on her lap rather, and she rub the shine head. Yeah. But being giving each other
Space.
space, that's how we do it. So when and then sometime I have to really do sometime I have to like remind her and say like when me come in, space time done. But sometimes she not obedient with that part there. But I just learn, give her a space, and then eventually I'll get what I want.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. So yeah. So every couple I have to be able to give each other space. The other day I went on a trip.
Work.
I went on a trip with some of the workers. Where I work, you have the employees, direct employees, and you have those who are contractors. And the contractors, they would come, and I mean, they do their work, but they call a little trip, and they invited myself and another colleague of mine. And so when they spoke to me, it's like a week before the date. So I told Michelle, I said, I'm going on a trip with, anybody can tell me what was the first question she asked me. I said, I'm going on a trip. I'm going to must be river thing.
River
We're
trip.
going to a river trip. The first thing she asked me is what? Any woman going to be there?
Yeah, it's a river trip, so I'm not going. So I have to ask a question. And you know, I'm not go around the corner in our bush.
Right, she not gonna go in the corner. So she
So
asked
I
me
said to him,
directly,
and you're bringing it to me,
yeah.
right? So I said, okay. So wait, you're going to the river. Is it a cow-head trip or it's just males?
No, become nice stuff. You know, so don't call it.
If it's
You
a
said you
woman going
said
to be
woman
there,
going to be there.
yeah, because we all know that. All right, if I'm not going to be there and it's a work and it's a river trip,
But I told you that
it
listen,
wasn't a problem. But since that
me
you
know.
brought it up, say, from So me hear them say, okay.
Yeah, come
Because
guess. I mean,
if it was,
it's a men's trip. All the man them on the river, I will just chill because the contractors were saying, boy, we don't really come together and just relax and unwind as men. So the man them say, yo, we'll go up on a river trip and thing. No, I I've tried this in the past, and I had to cancel the trip because like, should have tell me don't go, but you look at mumbling. But I think over time, because quite frankly, right now, if Michelle says, all right, she and the girls all go out, I'm like,
yeah,
yes, go on,
I know
go
that's
on.
fine.
You understand me? Why? Not because I don't want her to be seven, but I believe she has to have her time where she and her girls can go out and them can chat and them can talk all of them things about them husband together and them can
But it's
reason
the
things
same
about.
day.
Eh?
Say it's the same when you were going to the river. I don't have a problem with you going to the
No
guy.
man, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying in the past,
Oh, in the
right?
past, yeah.
But but over time
Yeah, because
you get
by then
mature
I
and
didn't
things.
have any kids. What the heck? I'm going to be here alone, and then you're gonna have fun. So may I try to go to
But
the
then again, the other part is still is that there are days when, like for example, go play football and
yeah
you just have and you say, all right, well, I mean, I'm a lover of football, so she will go. She'll be here rather, and I go play some
yeah
ball
that's fine.
wherever UA
No
or
problem.
wherever the place it may be. I go play some ball, but then I go play ball certain place because we can't run from gunshot and all these things, and I play against some people I know because
Yeah, you don't know
yeah,
who is
I don't
who.
know who is who. Yeah, so she'll give me my space and I give her space because there are times when we need time for ourselves individually. Cause you don't want to be in a relationship where you can't,
He's stifled.
yeah, you feel stifled, or there are times you just want to unwind by yourself. And as I you said, there are times when I come home and, for example, and even on Saturdays, when I'm here, I mean, I just appreciate that my kids, them love for them own space too. Jordan love our space. Mikey love everybody's space.
Yeah,
But he will go to in the yard
Mikey
and
run ward.
yeah, him check on everybody. You understand me? But even on Saturdays, I will in my house in the house and I'll sleep on the bed and I'll just sleep for a good while. And if I'm not sleeping, I'm not disturbed either way. You understand me? But and that gives you opportunity, to just reflect inwardly, to reflect on yourself, to reflect on where you are and so forth. And then it's as a boy, the next conversation may just be something that they gave thought about. You understand me? So it's important to give space. But
Yeah.
it's too when is it too much space?
I think too much for me, too much space is when you started out by giving each other space, where you become now in a space, in a situation where you have lost interest.
But
Lost interest in being together.
as
I guess
couples,
some people do.
as you come on, remember to register by liking the live.
I guess some people do because
But
too
how can
much,
you lose interest? What? Sorry, me not
because
interrupt, but
I don't know, too much space I think is when you never find time to really be together. And you're in
mm-hmm.
the same house, but for some reason you just never find time to hang out together and
Mm-hmm.
chill with each other. I think that is too much space. And where
Or
the
is it?
other individual
Mm-hmm.
seem to have time to be idle, maybe on their phone with other people, opposite sex, till they get joined into maybe conversations that lower them into something deeper and more serious,
And that
and
happens.
that is dangerous.
Yeah.
So even though you give each other space, maybe throughout the week or so, you still have to come back together. You still have to have
I
your
mean, because
alone
within the day,
time
of
together
course, within the day.
within the day,
Mm-hmm.
because even though
So each
you
day
do your
you need
unwind time,
some
as you
unwind.
said before, when you finish unwinding and you give me space too to finish maybe watching my movie or whatever, there are times that you will say to me, Mish, what time it is? I don't think it's bedtime now or whatever. I'm saying, okay, baby, give me 5 minutes.
And
Maybe. And even though sometimes I think I overdo it,
yeah, sure, do
wherein it is
sometime.
so sweet and I have to see where the other episode are, so maybe gonna start. So, what I'll do then, I'll try and nip it in the bud and maybe try and make it up another time, because
Mm-hmm.
the cutting off time is X, but I may not follow through. But nevertheless, I'm going to my bed. So, there are not all the time, but sometime now, we have to be together intimately too. So maybe that's the time now where I would have to, where that's now, initiate, because you were there waiting on me until maybe you doze off or
Happy Sunday,
something.
Karen.
So you really do. Hi, Karen. Happy Sunday. So we have to come back together to cement whatever.
And I think those space is important. Too much space can be uh, if you have a healthy relationship, meaning you're the significant of your spouse, you have a healthy relationship. I don't know if space can diminish what you both have.
No.
What I find becomes an issue is when, say for example, both parties, or there's an issue between two parties, and you give each other space.
You neglect.
Sometime in that giving of space, right? Person sometimes drift because one is east and one is west.
Yeah.
Sometimes somebody drift because them probably, as Michelle said, sometimes have starting conversation with other person because you have the time on your hands. You understand me? And one thing lead to another. So when you're having disagreements, it is not the best time to give too much space, because even in disagreement, sometimes you just need to just chill, leave the situation, and just go on side and just go easy, and then come back, right? But you don't want to give each other too much space during those times without coming back and talking about the issues, right? Because in those times, the truth of the matter is, sometimes you find person will find conversation and solace
Ease.
and in other person, right? And then when that conversation or that time is spent over time a lot with that individual,
Other
sometimes
than your
other than
significant
significant other,
other.
something can happen.
And that's why you find sometimes the world put labels on it, and rightfully so, where it's called emotional cheating, because that vulnerable part of you, that part that needs to be maybe soothed when something is going wrong or you're feeling down or whatever, it's not being comforted and soothed by your significant other. Over time you find friends or someone else to do so. You are giving that emotional side of you to somebody else other than your spouse. And that's when it becomes that there's too much space, too much time that you have idle, you understand, by yourselves and all of that. So it becomes a form of neglect now. You understand? Because the truth is, we're human beings, so we can become comfortable with whatever situation we allow ourselves to fall in.
Yeah.
And it starts somewhere. It always starts from somewhere. You understand? Because when you just getting to know each other, you're all up in each other.
Yeah.
You're texting, you're calling, you're doing fun things like that, using the phone too, and all of that, multitasking and everything. But as soon as you're in each other's company and you're now maybe living together, and you see each other every day, we take certain things for granted. We started to say, okay, you need his space, I need my space. But I think there's always a signal or a warning sign that say, okay, time now, time now to talk to your significant other, or hang out together, whatever. And as ladies, if we're upset when we get that inclination, we say, I'm lucky, I'm lucky. So it may start
The
off as
lady's
a little
favorite word.
spite thing, and make him stay there. You may just very casually on the phone, browsing around one of your little cities, so that you start liking somebody's post. You understand? You start liking somebody's train of thought,
And
whatever it is.
especially nowadays, it's so easy to make to be socially attached.
That's right.
Though you're socially distanced, with the phone, you can be talking to somebody with Australia.
And it could very well be innocent.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
It could
man.
be very well be innocent, but the more time we do spend with somebody, is the more we get attached and we
Yeah.
get to like the person. It works
Yeah.
if we find out
I
that
could enemy.
I could be your enemy. It works if we find out that, okay, it's this person make you laugh. It can be very innocent. You don't have to be flirting or anything, but it starts from somewhere. And most of the time, we do get that that feeling that said, I shouldn't be doing this, no, what about you kind of get so attached to the entertainment that is coming from the other person till before long now you start to look forward to it. You could become addicted to it.
True.
And where is your significant other? Maybe him a watch football. Maybe him also that they are texts or whatever, the same thing. So you find out now you have one person over here, so now being entertained by somebody else that you find it's just my friend, it's innocent. The other person over there, it's just my friend, it's innocent. So what is happening within this relationship
Yeah,
now
one
is
left and one
one
right.
left and one right.
It's just,
Somebody else is occupying the time. You understand? So that's what you call like too much
too much
space.
space.
As
Too much space.
human being, we have to rekindle. You
As couples.
understand? As couples, we have
Because I think naturally as human beings we gravitate to people.
to people.
And
People gravitate to
right.
us.
So even though even we all carry on a separate evil, it doesn't really and truly separate us. We may be physically distant, but we are still connecting with each other.
Connecting.
You understand what I say? And with the advent of technology and where it has brought us, we can access anybody at any given time once once we have their contact.
Right.
We can access it. So giving time is important, but we have to know when there's too much time given. Sometimes there are some things, and they're very real now. There are sometimes you get space, and as Michelle said, you stray away in a conversation, or you stray away and you're with somebody talking to them constantly. Them probably, as you say, innocently talking to whatever. But there's something in the back of your mind that says, all right, then there's a line of conversation that comes up, and you're like, all right, then, and there's the signal to stop.
Yeah.
That's a signal to say, all right, you know what, not going the direction I want to go.
And most of the time, say it's a long time friend that you haven't talked to for a while. But everybody is so now on social media. And long time friends cross paths with pictures, hit up on one of
it's
you.
funny from school
You
time.
understand? And I realized one of the famous catchword for a male is like, so what? I'm too late, or so what? A big man. You understand? So now you as an individual,
because the first objective is to find out if the person is single or married,
or if you're serious with your relationship.
because some persons don't care whether if you're married or not. They just want to so they can't them have a look of people to get
how
to get you.
serious. And the sort of with oh my lord. So I mean, long time we not seeing how we can hit up. Can hit up on whatever. So you have to know, you have to bear in mind and be cognizant and say, okay, what is my reason for hitting up? You understand? You're already saying hi. We're already saying hi via social media. So what would be the reason for hitting up? You understand? If you find out that now, okay, you may joke around whatever it is that is being said and say, easy, whatever you. But say it's Friday evening, 7 o'clock, every evening, Mr. Longtime friend, whether male or female.
Yes.
No. What you doing? You may very well be busy, or you may very well not be doing anything. But for some reason, you find the time just chilling. You can FaceTime or whatever they do now at Matzo versus all of it. You understand?
Video call
or whatever, but they may ask. So the big man is around, wifey is around, or what have you, the woman, whatever is around. What will your answer be? I mean, yeah. If you find yourself that you cannot talk in the presence of your significant other, that you're talking to this friend, and we know if you find so you cannot be open and say he's right here, if you have to say like the code and all of that, right away that that's not something that you should be prolonging, whether you're married or not. Once you're in a serious relationship, you understand, and your significant other beside you is not stupid either. Sometimes they maybe just catch up on a watch your body language and you don't know. And say, who are you talking to? If you know like me, I say, wait, who are you talking to? And most of we kind of say, yeah, man, it's so and so and so and so. You say, okay, say hi. You understand?
Because like me, I would Yeah, and
Transparent.
under God, I talk to other people, and I mean, especially
Are you
persons who are
counsel?
going through. I counsel with people, and even with counseling, I have to under God use His wisdom to not allow myself to get sucked into a situation or get drawn into it. I've had experiences, and that's why we can speak like that. But this is the other part of it too. That when you go through something, and God bring you out. Okay, you're now in a position to say to somebody, say, "Oh, no, this is the road to take, or this is the road not to take," because you've been there, done that. You
Yeah.
understand me? So it is when we speak about giving time, we are saying if you have a rocky relationship, it's not good to give time in the sense that you're not going to hoard over the person. But it's not the best time to give the person whole heap of time, because if your
Yeah.
relationship means anything to you, it's not the best time to give over time. Yes? All right. So, as we say, if you come on and you have things to say, if you want to share your views, please do. Ron says, if you're texting someone knowing that you're married and your partner can't openly see your messages, that's cheating.
Yes, that is. That is because something is being
It's
hidden.
tantamount to that,
That's
because
true, Rowan.
I mean, you hide something.
I mean that something is being
Yeah,
hidden.
I mean, you're hiding
Yeah,
something.
you have to be transparent. You have to be transparent. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be a hound dog
Mm-hmm.
or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that, or we don't call it Inspector Gadget.
No, yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, it should be transparent that, for instance, like how I would love to say, who is, who is,
Yeah, yeah.
it shouldn't be that the person keep talking and ignoring you,
The truth
or
is, I'll be on my phone, right? And Michelle will come and she's like, "So you're talking to?" Someone says, "Not somebody you know." And
I'm a
I'm say, "I'm
gamba
not,"
on my business.
and that is one hour. Me can give her the phone. Say, "Look."
I'm a gamba. And then
Or me may say to her, say, "It's so and so." And she's like, "Okay." And say, "Yeah, you know the
I
person."
may say
And then,
hi.
and she will say hi, or she just gone about her business. And
And
and what
sorry, it shouldn't be something that is, and it shouldn't be that every time you see,
suspicion
yeah, it
rises.
shouldn't be
Yeah.
every time that you see a significant other with the phone, you should be asking who you're talking to. It have to be something different. Like one of the things is that you have a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna have a I can't do it.
It's a
But he
lot.
have it's a laugh. But that would be a laugh, like it is seem like my laugh. Like there's sometime if I say something,
Every laugh is everything I do. Michelle identified, and she know
I've
which
been with you
like
for
so.
so
If I laugh,
long, so I
if I
know.
laugh a particular, she like, I mean, I don't think they laugh. Eh?
No, I know that it's not everybody you will love. It's either your brethren, it's either a family member, or it's a good friend
Yeah.
that is both of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a love that you give with every and anybody. So when you give
So,
that
but
love,
yeah.
I know it must be somebody that I either know or somebody that is in our friends
Mm-hmm.
circle of friends,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe a good friend that you
A good
haven't
friend that me
spoke to
have
for
that you know
right, or you
mm-hmm.
maybe don't talk to a long
for a
time.
long way.
It could be very well Lance. Can you that love go for Lance too? That same love. Or Mikel, or
What
Mal.
the circle of
There's
friends?
circle of friends.
Yeah.
So sometimes I will even call a name. I won't even ask him who in touch. No, I would say, is that so and so? And you would say, no man, not her. And then they would say, no man, you don't know, it's somebody from her. So I'm saying, okay, I'm going on business.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be all the time that you're playing this
Detective role.
detective
It
role.
doesn't feel good.
Don't.
And nobody should live them
Well,
life
hi
like that.
Andre, welcome, and
Hey Abigail.
Abigail, welcome.
So Andre says, unless you're setting up a surprise, true,
Yeah, with you
birthday surprise for that
sometime.
person, that's only time all is good. Hide that. Yeah, hide that message. I agree, because if you want to create surprises, you have to do it
Yeah,
secretly. You understand me? But
that's
and
true.
at the same time, we're barred in and ensure we don't lie either, Andre. Because sometimes in creating surprises, in as much as you're hiding something good, you don't want to
And
lying about it
yeah,
in the same breath. So, but that speaks to us how creative we are, and we can become
big
anyway.
mom. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
Bro.
So the truth of the matter is this: when you because
So
you're
true, Roy.
comfortable
True.
We don't. You can't hear what you say.
So Ron said that just best as saying that your wife know you very well. That's
Yes.
true.
Yeah, because as I said, if I laugh a particular way, she think, well, not even think that's my laugh, or if I chuckle, whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
But it and that comes because of being together over time, and trust me, 20 years is a long time. But you want to be able to feel free to take up your phone and text if you need to, right? And the freedom that you that comes from that is, for one, a mental one for you,
Yeah.
and a mental one too for your spouse, because she don't have to be over your watching and concerned unless there's issues that you need to address. Then you address the issues. But one thing that I have to say though, when there are issues, you don't live in the issues. You deal with the issues and move on,
And
because
move
you want to
on.
go back to normalcy.
Normal.
The normalcy may not come with drops in a one beat, right? But you still want to ensure, say, boy, you move from the past and go forward, because everybody needs space at some point. You understand me? And for me, Michelle is she likes to she like her own company like myself, but me more outgoing in terms of, you know, going out with friends and so forth. No, I don't mind if she have a bag of friends she can just go out with, but she's very selective, and that's all right with me, because you also want to make sure you have friends who are going to you spend. If you spend time with person, make sure you spend quality time, and it's not time that is basically basic, like you know, for the yesterday,
Yeah.
you did that chat people or whatever, whatever.
Can't bother.
No, it have
Not
to be
easy.
productive. It have to be
Yeah,
fun.
me can't bother waste
Yeah,
time,
it
so.
have to make sense. Now, the other part that we wanted to touch on is, like, long distance relationships. Now, that is where you have a whole heap of space.
Yeah.
Now, I remember when I got a job. I had to move to
St.
St.
Mary.
Mary, and we lived in St. Mary for 6 months, I think it
6 months.
was. And there was a time though when, I think we came back. We
Yeah.
came back into town, but I was still in St. Mary. Um, because I think, well,
You came back, I was still there. You transferred. You had to work a lot here because you stopped over at brother and sister Simpson,
mhm.
and I would stay back in St. Mary with
Oh,
Jordan,
right,
and it was
right,
lonely like
right,
crap.
right. So, and we never had no WhatsApp on them thing there. I
No.
mean, we probably had texting,
Yeah.
right? So I was in Kingston and she was in St. Mary living, and
It was
it
hectic.
was a challenge, but
Because even to go
it
to
wasn't wicked.
church, it was to go to church was so expensive
You
because you
mean
have
over
to
there?
take
Yeah.
taxi and
Hmm.
they. Oh my God! Listen, I know it is Jamaica, but I get a little culture shock. You know how our church tend to sing song the way it is done
Hmm.
originally, like
Hmm.
on the album. When we lived in St. Mary and I would go to church, Sunday school and church, them sing everything the same way, like in a one ear and
One beat,
one. Me
one
said,
one
what is it?
motion.
After 2 weeks, me said, no. No, honestly, Andre, you will go crazy. After 2 weeks, Mr. Colonel, I can't manage it. Them sing all the song the same, no matter which song. The same beat, the same ear. It was crazy, man. And then, no, I'm a worshiper. And even though I shouldn't boil down to
It
this,
was distracting.
it was distracting. It
Yeah.
was.
So because of the nature of the job, I had to come back into Kingston, and brother Simpson and sister
Oh, God
Simpson,
bless them.
they obliged, and I was staying with them while I was in Kingston and going to work. Well, it was such a long time,
It
and remember, it was like you come back fresh now. And what we did, I mean, I would go back over on the
and the
weekends and
weekend.
come home on the
And
weekends.
yeah, and then after a while, we find a way now to start coming church,
Back
staying
in,
on the weekends, and
right,
stay for service.
right, and
We'll
then and
stay
then
for
we went
service.
then we went back
Then went
to
back
St. Mary.
to St. Mary.
But the space there that we had, it wasn't no. I mean, it wasn't. It's a months being separated,
Man, I'm
but it
glad.
was like, weeks on.
Yeah.
Every week I'd be in town. So when we in town now, and we had to, we kept the communication, because
Yes.
with long distance relationship,
We
what
had
we
sorry, we had internet, but that internet was, it was like flow. Like you have some
It
area
was a
that,
crappy internet
yeah, it
because
chip
there
in, it
was
chip out.
there was
You
no
couldn't have conversation.
constant
Mm.
service. All right, let's before going further. Ruan says he has a question. If you are married, is it okay for you to have a lock on your phone? You go first.
In my opinion, no, because that within itself already let me started to doubt or feel like there is something that is being hidden if there's not. So we don't encourage that, and I don't agree with that because
But I have a
with
lock on my phone.
you do, but okay, it depends if you're asking if you have the lock, but the other individual doesn't have the code or cannot open the phone. Because he have a lock to his phone, but his phone that he's using is a dual chip. It's both for work, one phone, but it's both for work and
Private number.
private. So his phone have to be locked because he's using it also for work at work. But his phone can be opened only by me and him using my thumb print and his thumb print.
Mm.
So with that, it's not a problem for me because if he gets a call, I can answer it.
Yep.
If there's a text, he will tell me, open it, read it now and tell me who it is. Or
Mm.
sometimes, depending on who it is, he may tell me even what to text. You understand? So that's I have freedom to that. So if in that situation it's like that, I would say fine. But if it's a situation where it is locked and the other party don't have a way or access to it, that's wrong. I believe it's wrong. My opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you're gonna put a lock on your phone, your wife, your husband
Oh, see,
should
Abe,
have access.
pass.
Should have access to. Let me finish with
He, yeah,
one question. Yeah, your wife or your husband should have access to it.
should have access.
Um, yeah, point blank,
He should
point blank.
because
So I was even the spouse knows your password. Yeah, man.
yeah,
That's
that's
what we're
fine.
saying.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
we're saying.
basically
If the spouse knows your password, it's okay
that's
because
fine.
quite frankly, there are times she and I will have some text that we don't know anybody else will see. Yes, I mean,
Mhm.
and at work I put on my phone sometime, and you know, I will put it down on my office desk, go outside into the warehouse doing something, and I come back, it's there. You understand me? Now, if it was open to anybody, somebody could go in and then people fast and people, Mr. Lee phone this boy, I wonder where more. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you have a lock on it, but at least your spouse should have access to that. Yeah. So
Yeah,
the distance that what we have heard and learned from others is that when you have long distance relationship, I don't know. Personally speaking, I couldn't. I wouldn't want to have to live
that
away
way.
from my wife for 6 months
But my mom have done it
for
all her life
years.
with my stepfather because he works overseas and before she died, God bless her soul. And it worked for them. It worked for them, but I don't think it could work for me. Um, I'm a type of person that I like upfront and center. Sometimes I'm childish. Sometimes he'll be out here even watching his football, and I'm in there, watching my movie. And if my mind tell me to come out and trouble him, I come trouble him, and then I come trouble him, I go back in. So it depends. It
the,
depends on the relationship
the
and how
truth
you
is,
set it.
I don't see long distance relationship
It's not for everybody. It's
dead
not for
sentence, but it requires and well, the beautiful thing about it is this: in this day and age, your accessibility is very good.
yeah.
Yes, I mean, once your spouse have a internet connectivity and phone or whatever, you can video chat, you can do whatever, and that's the only way I see things surviving. Even though you're separated, the communication have to be there. You
Yeah.
understand me? Now, this true. I find, and I don't fight a lot with, like, as I say, this is not necessarily something that we have experienced, but I find like there's challenge for both, whether you're Christian or not.
I know.
when you're in a long distance relationship. And the only thing that makes it work, from what I have understood and somewhat studied, is the dedication of the both of you to the relationship. I know of persons who have said, boy, but they must see, they have
Not
now
leave.
leave. So then suppose they're foreign for 6 months and the spouse come back after the 6 months. Whatever the him did in Rome stays in Rome. He's back. All is well.
Yeah, but
Nothing
how?
else matters. I'm moving forward. The only thing that interrupts that now is as if on the spouse phone a message come in about baby feeding or child support
Or the wrong message
or
sent.
a message come
That's a
in, and you
dangerous
understand what I'm
way to
saying?
live, man.
So that is saying now there's another life
That is happening.
somewhere else. You understand me?
You know,
But I know of ladies who have said, listen, I know my husband, they're finding my work, and come home, and come home is my husband, argument done. She don't argue about nothing we're going over there unless it is uplifting or something nice, she good. Because she not gonna mash up her head. I have ladies who have said to me that, listen, she what? She said, because I talk to people a lot. I go in and I would make fun of people, make joke, and if I see somebody looking sad, we go to them and say, "Hey, what's up with you?" And I think to how me deal with them, people warm up and easily relate to me. So I remember this young lady said to me, say, "Mr. Lee, I don't have a problem with my significant other cheating." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because I mean, my band come see it,
oh,
it
she
not gonna
used to that.
stop. No, she said it not gonna stop." So I say, but what if him do it? What
And
if
she
he?
gets sick.
What if no? What if he does it and you go catch him? She said, "After him, no man." So what if you got the
This
house and
was
catch
so
him? She
brave.
just raps like, "Arks!" After him, no man. Gosh, she's mother go dead. You know what I'm saying? But she's saying like she don't really put her mind there. So if it happen, she don't see it, she don't see it. So I know that some person that's the mindset in dealing with long distance relationship. But as Christians, boy, um, we can't take that stance.
I don't know. The part that I will have a
because
problem with
yeah,
is the intimate part, the
intimacy.
intimacy, because it works if you're a person that's not how you started out your life, even and
Yeah.
you're not good with
You are a
celibacy.
rabbit, but they become a turtle.
Because honestly, I can understand if I do, and I still can understand because I mean you can do all your Skyping or your whatever you, but even at that point, I
Yeah,
feel how
all
long.
long, yeah.
You understand? And when you really feel and all of that, how do you handle it? Because everything else that you could maybe do on a face to face and camera, to me that is like foreplay.
Yeah,
And
that's
how
what it would be
long?
tantamount to.
Oh, it's dangerous,
So
but people have done it. People are doing
and
it.
to be honest with you guys, that was one of the things
To
because
each his
I
own.
remember when things were really challenging with us, and I think my mom was saying like, how about going to work overseas? And honestly,
Yeah.
guys, I just made up my mind. Said I'm not gonna do it. One, I'm not gonna leave my wife and my two children here. Mark, yeah, they probably would have been, let's say, better opportunities or quick opportunities. But who knows? It may be, maybe not, because there's nothing put on for anybody or foreign. You understand me? But I just made up in my mind that no, this is how I want to do it, and this is how I'm going to do it, and I just press on in faith, and God open the door,
According to your
right?
faith,
And here am I taking care of my family,
according to
and
your
I didn't have
faith.
to go live overseas and work for a year or 6 months to come
And
back.
not to bash anybody
No,
who's
you
doing
understand me?
it,
It's about
because,
where your
like I
faith
said,
is. Yeah,
my mother and my stepfather, they
right.
have done it for
For
years
years.
and it worked for them, you know, but I don't think it will work for me.
Hmm.
I no, I don't think, even though sometimes you're placed in certain situations that you have to adapt,
Hmm.
I think it would be a great sacrifice. Let me
Hmm.
put it that way.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
would be a really great sacrifice.
So if the both of you are in the same space, right, or living in the same house and thing, it is still important to give each other space
Space.
so that each other can unwind and and then come back rejuvenated. You understand me? But it cannot be any. Oh yes, is your spouse though love to just be by themselves all the way every time. Something is wrong.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good within
Something is
itself.
wrong.
I mean,
You understand?
even the ironic thing where you may have a disagreement, but you don't keep malice,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't keep malice because you still have to cook, you still have to do things for each other.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it feels like that's how I imagine like a heart being shivered up. You know, like SpongeBob. That's how
Yeah.
I imagine like the air being sucked out
Sucked
a
out of it.
sponge out of
Yeah.
a sponge
Yeah. Yeah.
because there are times when in the disagreement, yes, you're upset and everything, but I mean, after the disagreement, no, like sometimes, like because I love my room when I'm not doing anything, you know that.
Mm.
And you may be out here, maybe on the laptop doing something or playing game or something. If we have a disagreement, and by then I don't have a reason to really come to but sometimes, like I will stop in the passage and say, I'm not here though. I do so long. And I will
Unknown to me.
you won't know.
Yeah.
Well now you know. So I'll bust a curtain and I come out of a curtain. Sometimes I'll put on a sad look on my face and me say, this is so stupid. No, to myself I'm talking myself, this is so stupid. You're in the room wondering what is he doing out there because normally, we maybe even talking,
Yeah.
maybe running a joke or something. But now I have all this time for myself. Of course, I could be watching movie, but for some reason the movie not appealing. No,
Yeah.
because we're at end. So
Yeah.
I mean, swim out there. But I boss to the curtain. Like sometimes, like I would say, I come out now and just come and say, "What you doing?" Like that little baby thing.
Mm-hmm.
But as me bust the curtain, this that smile on your face, go look, please, just make up my face. And it feel like the air is being sucked out. It's like you're at war, really,
Mm-hmm.
with yourself. Some say, "You know what? Not relevant, to get upset over foolishness don't relevant
But
because
but for those of you who are here with us, let me hear what you think about giving each other space.
space.
Tell me what you think about giving space. And when is space too much? When it is too much space, what are the signs that you would look for this? You know what? Enough space now. Let us cut the space. Share your thoughts. Yes, I mean, give you that time to do that. Because as we said, we're not here just to,
Talk.
talk and lecture. Though we may have our own experiences, but we still want to hear what you guys have to say, right? Because giving space to me is a good thing, and then there's a level when it becomes
Too
not
much.
so good. You understand me? It becomes too much to give. But you can share your thoughts. And of course, please tell us what you think about the lighting because as if you watched our previous video, you saw me with my face like this, yeah. I was actually wiping my face, but nevertheless, you would have seen that we bought a ring light, and we want to know if it actually makes a big difference. So you can tell us. I know that like with some thing there.
Hats.
Michael. Yeah, soon come to Abbey. We have some people who will have this shine thing that they use to
Mhm.
reflect the light so it gets brighter. So you can tell us what you think. So Abby says, I'm thinking when the romance leaves the relationship and you begin to start acting like roommates and not so much
Yeah,
partners. That is
that's
true.
dangerous.
That is true. If it gets to that point, mark you. If you're observant, it doesn't have to, but when it does, it's a sure sign that you're giving too much space.
Yeah.
Especially if you were a couple that talks about everything,
Everything.
make the funniest, nothing become
Becomes
funny. Yeah, yeah. That is
that's true.
yeah. You don't want to reach that stage. But anybody else can share, please.
And I mean, it can be rekindled too.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
same
It's
thing
not a death
can be, yeah, it
sentence.
just become dormant. But it's gonna take somebody knowing that okay, it's a task and I'm willing to take it on.
I think
Mm.
one of our next topic going to be about pride. Did we
Mm.
do a topic on pride in the relationship?
No,
Pride. We're gonna
we
talk about pride
talk around it, but
because oftentimes, and it's a precursor to it, I guess. But oftentimes, the thing that stops people from talking or them feel are coming down to mend that situation is because of them pride.
yeah,
You understand me? They don't want to. come
Show
off,
themselves
show
vulnerable.
themselves vulnerable to say, okay, I was sorry, or you know, I want this to work, so
Yeah.
let's not fight anymore, or I could have done this differently. Because
Mhm.
even when you're right, even when you're right, you can use the power of being right to correct something that was wrong. You understand me? You know, have to go to the person and say, you're wrong, so you should have said sorry. Imagine you're right, you go to the person and say, hey, all right, let's stop, let's pause, let's talk it over. What is it that I did that resulted in this? Right? Now, if the person is going to behave and hard-handed now, yeah, just give them some
Some
space.
space. And there
Cause
is,
you're not going to walk into the relationship because of
yeah.
that. But you're going to give her some space.
And it's a good thing to show yourself vulnerable, to your significant other. It have its place.
Yeah, it does.
It does have its place. Just like how sometimes as ladies, like you want something that you maybe know that okay, you alone maybe cannot put it, and you kind of know say you might say, but you really don't need this, But I don't know for nobody, but I want to think that there are some ladies like myself who tap into the little girl side, just tap into the girl side and say, baby, you become a child, like, and you made, you know, that it's kind of cute. You just automatically get in that little mood, put your pride
And it
aside.
depends because and every one of us male get softened by the child in
That's,
you, the little girl in you. All right, so Andre writes space. I'd say it can be avoided. Do do so and wait.
need.
I'd say it can be avoided. Do so and make
Make
yourself
yourself
available to
available
your
to your
partner.
partner.
Sometimes you must.
Sometimes
Sometimes the
the
moment
moment they
they
either
either
wait or need you can be detrimental to
detrimental.
your relationship
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay, so
Mhm.
you say you put in you there, so you wanted
Mhm.
space. Okay, yeah. So
That's
yeah,
true.
that is true. That is true, Andrew.
That's true.
So Ron says, I think when you're married, don't when you're married,
Don't
you
need
don't need
space.
space. You had enough space before you got married. Giving space leads to other things.
Yes.
Solid point. Solid point.
And it's,
But
yeah,
but
all right. I understand where you're coming from because I do understand because I felt that way in the beginning. Remember when we're courting, I tell you that you're going to be annoyed of me because we're never going to have a disagreement because we'll never go to our bed being upset because
mhm.
I will make sure of that. And some of the time, I'm the one who causes it. So
Flip.
it's, you get to know each other better. That's what I'm guessing.
So Rowan, I mean partially agree because even in married you need a good space. But
Yeah.
not the space to the detriment of the relationship.
Yeah.
So Rowan, I said from the fact say you're married, forget about getting space because you have nobody was single. No.
You will though.
You
Maybe
still
for
need
the
a good
first the
space.
first couple of years, it will
Yeah.
happen like that. It will.
So Andrea said, I just said be careful with how we use it, especially as an excuse.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that
That's
is true.
true.
That is true. That sounds dangerous, bro. Yeah, that shit. That is a communication in chat room now. All right, so Abby, you said we still have to separate identities, though one flesh, and I think it's needful to still allow room for your partner to explore that. That
That's
is true.
true. That is
That is
it.
true. So though you're
So
one flesh, you're definitely still going to need time for yourself.
yeah, you do.
You understand me?
You
And
could come
then,
up
and the
here.
truth is, when you can breeze and relax and so forth, when you come back with your partner a
Together,
reason and thing, it
it's like
it's fresh,
lightning,
yeah, and it's like
you know.
fresh oil.
Mhm.
Yes, you have to take time for yourself too, man. You have to take time for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, whatever it is that your partner love doing, allow them, give them time to do it.
To do.
There was a time when Michelle was like, oh, she don't tell them was much still. So even I talk for her. When on Saturday mornings, there's a
Oh,
group of brethren and them gonna play ball like from 7 o'clock. So what Michelle would do now is like when I would try and play every Saturday, but depending on how the work schedule
yeah.
go and how
Before.
tired I am before now, it never work out. So when I want to play, she's like fling her foot over me. You have to go to them, man. You can't, man. Every Saturday you
Because you
want to
were
go
getting up
and
so
whatever.
early,
You
man.
understand me? But, and I was insistent, Michelle, I'm gonna play some ball.
Yeah,
You
you were
understand me? And there
determined.
were times when I have to just yield and say, right, I'm not gonna play ball. But you have to give your partner opportunity
Yeah.
to go and just let
Let
them hear down
I
and
would
things.
literally pray
Even
for the
without
rain too.
and even without your presence. Yeah. Can that's the thing too.
Yeah.
Can your partner have fun without you?
Without you. It has to
He
be.
can. Right? You can.
Um,
As Andre says, you and I, Rowan, may agree to not have space want not to not make wanting space a thing. But if our partner wants it,
can
we can't rob them of it, even if we don't completely agree. That's where compromising comes in.
that's true.
And Abby solidly, of course.
Course.
So
That's
yeah,
true.
your
That's true.
spouse should be able to have fun without you.
Without you.
Yes, I mean, I say, listen me. Yes, you're married. Yes, you're one flesh, but you don't have to reach a point where you start bored the hell out of each other.
Yeah, you have to have your own
You don't
thing.
want
You
that.
you really do have
You
to.
understand me?
I mean,
And although depending on how your structure or your relationship is, it may never be boring, but you still have to give the person
person
time.
time.
You understand me?
It's
Yeah.
and it helps the relationship too. It helps you.
Absolute dependency can be toxic. That is
It
true.
is toxic.
That is true. That is true. So see, she said, I don't want to get bored of my partner. So your text, what we have said precedes what you're texting.
Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, so you have to have space where each partner can go amongst them friend or wherever the case may be and just have fun. You understand me? So space is not bad. You
So
understand
Andre
me? You just
said,
have to
sure.
understand when it's too much though. Well, I guess I'll be listening to some
So I
adults.
understand from that
Absence makes
standpoint.
the heart grow fonder.
Founder.
Oh
It is
yes, oh
true.
yes.
It is true because I can remember even like when you used to go on those trips. I mean, even last week when you went on trips,
On the trip,
on
yeah,
the trip, I was surprised that you were texting and telling me, but I was happy for it still.
yeah, yeah.
That was
So while I was there, guys, I took a
sending
video. I
pictures
took
and
a video of where we were. I had service on my phone, so I took a video of the river that we were at. We weren't the only group that was there, so we saw other people and ladies and so forth and so forth. So I want one of the videos I sent. I then said, okay, those are not our set of people then. So
I
we
could tell from my ears
here.
one word there. My God.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, so it's like all of what we are saying is this: whether you give space or you don't give space, all in all, you want to ensure that what you do is for the betterment of the
Better.
relationship. Now, anytime your spouse look away and because you say for example, your spouse come and spouse came and said they wanted to do something and you were objecting to it and the spouse is saddened. You
Yeah.
want to tell me now say you want your spouse to look like that?
Abby
Yeah?
was asking a question.
So Abby says, how do you strike the balance when one partner is extroverted
Extroverted
and
and
the
the
other
other
is
is
not? All right, let
yeah,
me take it up. The balance is struck when both persons want to ensure that both parties are happy.
are happy.
Simple as that. Meaning, an introvert is yeah, you just
Yeah, and
want
Andre said there,
yeah,
compromise.
you just want to just chill. Markel, and this is what we have done. There is a time when I just don't into not talking. Um, and there are times that, for example, I'll approach Michelle, and she's probably, and because guys, believe it or not, though we are couples, or we're a couple, and though we may be Christian and married couple and whatever, there are times when your spouse has some internal things dealing with that all she need or all he needs is just for you to shut up and just chill. Just be there for them. Sometimes the person may be overwhelmed emotionally. All
Yeah.
them want if you do is just chill, just be there for them. Um, you may just be that you lie down and the person lie them chest on your them head on your chest, and that is all they need. You don't need encouragement. You don't
Yeah.
need to be talked up or down to. All them want is just you just chill.
Just chill
You
out.
understand me? There are times when when I approach Michelle and she's in an emotional state, and we just go be and just hug her. That's it. Don't need to say nothing more.
Yeah.
You understand me? I say, there are times when me and her not talking. For example, Michelle come and say, "What's wrong with you?" I'm say, "I'm good, man. I'm
Just rub
all
your
right."
head on.
And she say, "You sure?" And there's other part of it. She come and she come back again and say, "Ah, Mr. Michelle, if I tell you one time, I don't want to tell you
Yeah.
twice." You understand me? Because sometimes, as a man, there are some things you are dealing with internally, and women do the same thing
Yeah.
too, right? But you have to know when to just chill,
Just have to pay
pay
attention.
attention, and just know when to chill because not every time something needs to be said or something needs to be done. Sometimes give them a space, just be that shoulder to lean on,
Yeah.
and that's all that's required. So introvert, extrovert, just know what the signs when and what sign requires what.
That's true,
Not
Andre.
one size fit everything. Yeah. So
It's our
Andre
time to
said,
watch a movie.
Ron, let's
That's true.
let's revisit the definition of space, because if space is allowing us to play a game,
Game
a
or
football,
football
or a
or
video game, or dominoes or
dominoes
something,
or
I
something.
agree. So Andre said again, and it's for her to watch a movie or to chat with her friends. Sure. Okay. So
Okay.
Abby now says, oh, the person may like walks to clear their minds. Yeah, they'll talk about it eventually. I don't think nagging pressing helps. That's true.
That's true.
That is true. And sometimes there's some things that are just therapeutic for me. For example, if the rain a tear, I don't mind going in the rain and probably lay down on the asphalt and that's why make the rain beat me.
Be-
But Michelle's like, no, 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 no,
Because
no, you
the
get all
reason,
muddy and dirty up.
no, the reason being is that you get sick easily that way.
I've not gotten sick in a while, and
Well, thank you,
it's
Lord.
only
Thank
like
you.
twice I get sick
No, when
when
the
the climate
climate
change.
changes,
Yeah,
but because the climate changes, and the thing is, why I cannot allow you to get sick. He's like a baby. You get
I'm not
sick.
a yeah.
You are.
So yeah, when I get sick, yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, but there are some things that are just for me therapeutic, and it may not be what she enjoy doing, but it doesn't mean that I can't do it. It
Yeah,
doesn't mean
that's
say, yeah,
true.
something me just need to. This is my time to just be me and just do what
God,
re- releases the
de-stresses.
releases the nice chemical in my head. Let me say make you feel good. Hey Christopher Roberts, and by the
Yeah,
way,
welcome,
Christopher is
Christopher.
my lord.
What?
Yes,
Big up my
and in
Lord.
there
Show me a
and it
friend.
fly out too. So blessings on your journey,
Yeah,
boss. Make sure you care
yeah,
about
my
juju
Lord.
and pistachios to me.
I
You should
wouldn't have guessed that
you
in a
should know that.
million years.
Yes, everyone says, see for me, I am very jealous. So giving space won't work for me.
All right,
Just
let
be
us talk
like
about
see you, everyone.
the truth is in the beginning when we started, there's some family members they would think that we are too much in each other.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, in all fairness, Ron, I'm not going to come down on you for feeling that way because it depends on the stage of the relationship. Because when we started, we were like that. You don't see one without the other. Anything at all, when both of us are doing it, you'll be watching football and with the underneath your arm too.
Yeah.
It's like when I don't think we needed space then. We really didn't need
Yeah,
space
because
then.
that was when I was at Carrefour and we
Yeah.
had football competition.
I was
I would
there
invite her
and
to
I would be
come and
cheering, even with
cheering for
little
my team.
baby and
Yeah,
everything. And I mean, till everybody even know me and then
yeah,
something. And the
yeah.
same thing for Real Mona when you were
Mhm.
playing with Real Mona.
Yeah.
So I think things happen within the stages of the different growth
And stage of the
and the
relationship.
relationship. And as the year comes by, because you feeling that way, it's all good. And it didn't even feel toxic
No,
at that
the
time.
only thing for me, Ruan, is that, and I don't want to break what you have as your standard or whatever, But should I be concerned? Because the truth is, being jealous is one thing, but being jealous to the point where you can't give your significant a little space. So, sure, all right, Rowan, big man question. Your significant other want to go on a girls' night out. You know how I mean, sugar? Let Rowan respond. Okay, so Abigail said she was praying for Rowan. But the truth is, I mean, should I be concerned about the level of jealousy that you have?
I don't know. I'm not sure if
Listen,
he's in a relationship
listen,
with
man, the
her.
man said he's just being honest. See? Let me show what him say. What him say. Wait there. All right, Rowan says, see, top is that.
Oh,
See, for
for
me,
me.
I am very jealous. So giving space won't work for me. Just
So
being
you need
honest.
to watch last week's video.
Yeah.
You need to watch last week's video. It's all about jealousy.
Yes. Oh, come to think
Yeah,
of it.
it's all about jealousy
You need
because
to watch the last week video.
yeah, we can't go into it.
Last week live.
Yeah,
You'll get a whole lot of
you'll
help
get
from that.
yeah.
Trust me.
Please remember to watch that. That will help you, man, because that's a job within itself.
Yeah, jealousy is a whole power Rowan. But anyway,
Yes.
we can that if you watch our last week's live, watch it through, and next week when you come back, if you still have questions, we can deal with that. We can deal with
Yeah.
it. But I believe I think I was trying to get Michelle to agree that there's a
There's
healthy
no.
dose of jealousy,
Mm-mm.
but in the sense that, but I don't think it's jealousy. It's called, I think it's being protected. No, it
Protected.
can be overprotected. No, that's where jealousy comes in and mess up the whole
And we
thing.
did spoke about
And we
that.
spoke about that. You understand me? Because I was taking from the position, I said, okay, if the Bible said that God is a jealous God, I mean, this is the sovereign God. But I don't think it's jealousy in the sense of jealousy, like, oh, we deal with jealousy. No.
Yes.
Is this God saying this? I'm the sovereign God, I created all things. My glory, I will not
And
share
share
with
with
another.
another.
I'm
But
not sitting around with that.
that's not jealousy.
But that's not
Jealousy.
jealous. Well, but no, but so that is a jealous God
Yes, because
unless the English translators use the word in that space, but there's another
even if you
meaning.
want to look at it to an extent to say that okay, because the Lord's glory is being given to another, that makes him a jealous God. I don't see that as jealousy because you have
Yeah, I
the
don't say,
reasonable, you
yeah,
understand
yeah.
the reason for you to pose or a confrontation or something to get
Mm.
that corrected. So you know,
As Abigail said, guys, please share the dangers of not giving your partner space. Hey,
okay, yes,
you want to go first or me go first?
you can go.
Listen, one of the danger of not giving up your significant other space is one, it can be stifling.
Yes,
It can be stifling. Another danger is you can let the person dislike even your own company,
yeah, be annoyed,
be annoyed by it. Boredom can be one.
overbearing,
Being overbearing
yes.
is one of the negative
And
repercussions.
resentment can come, and that's
And
the worst.
yeah, because the truth is, what you want, even though you become one flesh, you want to feel comfortable even in your own flesh.
Yeah.
You understand me? The one flesh may as you'll see, you won't become Siamese twins,
No.
right? And you don't want to do it mentally, act treating the person as if you're Siamese twins. You understand me? Because the truth of the matter is, people love to just be, have a good time out for
Here to
themselves.
breathe
Yeah,
and to be themselves,
and to be
and
themselves,
enjoy
and
their
and
own
and to do
space.
what it is that allows them to just be them.
Mhm.
You understand me?
That thing that
And
you like
you
so
have to
much.
know as the other party appreciate and at the same time let him or her feel the way they want to feel. Why? Because the more they feel rejuvenated and feel good at themselves, they are going to in turn make you feel good.
Because they'll have the energy to come
They'll
back
have the
to
energy.
take
They'll
on
feel
the
revitalized. They'll
other
feel energized
individuals.
and everything. You understand what I said? I mean, to me, and the flip side, I don't. If you think that you have a healthy relationship, I don't see a downside to giving space. You
And
understand
it
what I
just
said?
happened.
Yeah,
It will just happen. I think where the where too much space comes in is that one individual
it's drifting.
is mentally now become a little toxic, mentally ill in a sense.
Mentally ill that
Yes,
far.
it's not really far.
How
It's
mentally ill? Because mentally
in other
you go to mad
no
also.
meaning that one.
Mentally unstable.
Yes, meaning that one, they no longer know how to enjoy their own company, how to maybe exist on their own.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, as an individual, you have to know how to exist on your own,
Yeah.
how to kind of co-op on your own. First of all, so that helps you to know who you are. So in knowing who you are, you'll understand what makes you happy, what makes you chill, what is your little edge. You
Yeah.
understand? And in being so, there comes a time when you have to remove away from someone else. You understand? To, you would call it the
Refueling.
refueling of yourself.
Yeah.
You understand?
Because the
And
truth is, brethren, the more you feel good in yourself, the more you make
the more you
that,
have to give.
and the more you have to give.
Yeah.
If you feel stuck and if you feel bogged down, if you feel hoarded, I mean, what you're not going.
You become stressed.
That's the
And you
me
can
can't tell
become
how it's gonna feel
depressed.
because you won't be able to give of yourself to the
Yeah,
fullest with all the vitality and the vigor that you can
that you
because
can.
mentally you feel bogged down. No
Right.
man.
So the individual needs space to breathe, as we
Yeah
say,
man.
and it is natural because, I mean, that's how we were made. We were made also to enjoy our own, our own little surrounding.
Hmm.
And you'll find out that in some cases the toxic behavior creeps in when other individual. Sometimes the spouse, a significant spouse, can cause it. They don't allow the other partner
Hmm.
to, you know, do things on their own.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? They don't, and there's some male that likes that.
Yeah.
They like to have
Being
the
dominant.
power and to
Yeah.
be dominant, and it can work against them in the long run. Because while you want to have all the power within this relationship, and you suck up even the energy of the other
Yeah. Yeah.
individual. You
Yeah.
don't allow them to grow and to feel confident and know that okay, you can do
And
this on
feel
your
good within
own.
themselves.
You understand?
You just basically
You
suck up all of the
yes.
oxygen around them.
So
Nah.
by doing that one, sometimes they try to do everything to have everything under control. But what they're doing is crippling
Yeah.
the other individual. First, the confidence. You understand, in knowing that okay, I can be on my own, I can do this on my own, and I know how to handle so and so. You understand? So when that is taken away, you're training that
Yeah.
individual to solely depend upon you,
Yeah.
and that's not
That's
good
not
in
good.
any
Because
relationship.
if you
Even if you're
die,
a super
what happened to
person,
that person?
beautiful. They're
If,
like a
if you are in a
dwarf.
hospital, what happened to that person?
They cannot
You
exist
just
without.
debilitated
Right. So
the
that's
person mentally, and then once you're debilitated mentally, physically, you're no use to
yeah,
yourself
that's
or
not
anybody
good.
else. So Rowan says, which I wanted to point out, Rowan said, I will say no because I have my heart broken before, so I have trust issues. I knew that's what
I understand.
I get that's where the situation arrived from or derived from Rudy Rowan, and that can be sorted out. And I hope if you're with somebody now, that person is watching, and or if you're not, it's going to take you some time to find
The
yourself
finance.
and make sure in finding somebody else, pray and ask God for help.
And like
He will
Abigail
give
say,
direction.
we will take it serious because now that we know that it's underlined, there's an
Mm.
underlying issue and it's serious. You weren't just joking. We can pray for you too because sometimes you need that power of God to
Mhm. Yes,
really
yes.
restructure the way that you should think healthy about these things, especially when your heart have been
Yeah.
broken. It is like that capability of someone come out of your hand because of experience.
Hmm.
So yeah,
So Abigail, so
we will pray for you.
what about time with the Lord as a married person? How do you allow your spouse room for honor to honor that and each other at the same time?
Okay.
After all, we are Christians, right? So with That is also very important, Abigail. Of course, we are guided by the scriptures. So if it is that you're gonna take time out to spend time in devotion, it
Yeah.
must also be with consent from your husband
From
or
my
your
husband.
wife. And once that communication or discussion is had and it's agreed upon, then you have to restrain yourself as the male or the female, because you have agreed that this person will take some time for devotion. You understand me? So all of that has
And
to
it
come
shouldn't
into
be an
play.
issue.
And
It
that should
works when
not
you're
be an
both in
issue.
the same
That should
faith,
not be an
because
issue any at all.
both parties would understand what that means. So it really shouldn't be an issue. But you do need to communicate it, nevertheless.
All right, so here now some inter chat counseling going on. So let's read some of them. So Rowan says, I will have to say no. We read that, trust is but I am working on
Working
it.
on it.
Good,
Good,
Rowan.
good,
You're working
Rowan. That's
on the
good.
trust issues. That's all good. Andre said, let it go, Rowan. I've been cheated on at least 4 times. Not laughing at the fact, but just the fact you were
No,
so
the reason
open with
why
it.
I did in my
You
mind,
were
I'm
so
saying,
open with
well,
it.
Andrew is the man to
Open
reason
with it.
with you.
And
Too.
for me to move on, I had to let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let all
You
the
have
hurt go
to.
by, forgiving these individuals. That's
Yeah.
excellent response,
And that's
Andre.
best for you. When you let it
Excellent
go
response.
to you, you are better enough yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's not even for
Let
the
me tell you
individual,
something.
it's for you.
Let me tell you
Individual
something,
is for you.
Rowan. And we're not. What Andre said is perfectly right, and I'm going to throw something in the mix of it. You'd have to let it go and learn to forgive. It's when you learn to forgive, you're releasing not the person alone, you're
But
releasing
yourself.
yourself. Let me tell you how I view it. Life is like this journey where you can make it what you want, but along the bumps, there are things that can derail what you want it to be. And the only way that you can still get to where you're thinking of that you want to be the destination is to not let each bump delay you for too long.
But let it encourage you
Don't make it
too.
stop you for too long. If I mean, it's like you get a cut by your toe, you put a plaster, it'll go heal. But anyhow, you keep removing the plaster, and juking it, it'll go heal, it'll get worse. So you have to know, okay, plaster, moving on. Because time will heal that
Will
cut.
heal it.
So don't make none of the bumps in the road delay you
No.
for too long. Put a plaster, move right along.
And the
And
first thing,
forgive.
yeah,
Forgive. Because once you
forgive.
forgive, your heart just feel light again. And you're not gonna run into the next relationship. You say, oh, okay, I think I can find no. No.
Examine
Pray,
yourself.
right. Examine yourself, examine the steps you took, and then I'm not going to take this away.
Right.
Pray and ask God for it. Ask God for his direction.
Yeah.
And believe in me, God don't just answer people who are Christians. He answers unsaved people. Because if you as an unsaved can put God first in deciding a relationship, he's just gonna pour on the goodness, pour on the goodness until you say, no, God, you have been so good to me. It's time to serve you.
That's true. And the
That
thing
is
is,
fact.
once you have examined yourself and you see that it really wasn't you, you might move on.
Move
Know
on, man.
that you're not the problem. That's the
Yeah.
best thing.
Yeah.
You understand? And look into it. You're not the problem. So know this. If it wasn't you, because that individual must have an issue. They have an underlying issue.
Yeah.
You understand? So if it wasn't you it happened to, it would be somebody else. So the first thing you have to know that good things sometimes do happen to bad things do sometimes happen to good people.
Yeah.
You understand? And let yourself know that okay, so that's on her. That's on her. So
Yeah.
you don't lose no sleep over it really, because whatsoever seed is in individuals, it have to come out.
Yeah.
You understand? And we're not cures.
Right.
Yeah. Another human being is not a cure for another individual weakness. Under Jesus Christ is a cure.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And they within themselves to see that they have an issue that needs to be dealt with and they have to deal with it.
And
You
you have to
understand? So-
understand that the part you played was significant in that person realizing themselves too.
And if they
Yeah,
never realize
and if they
themselves,
never realize
that's not
themselves,
on
you
you.
made a contribution to
You
their journey.
understand?
Move forward.
move
you move
forward.
forward.
And now you have gained a level of experience.
Yeah.
Ensure that you learn a level of experience out of that hurt.
Failures
That
are
will
not
make you a
failures. Failures are
stronger,
lessons.
a much stronger individual to move on to whoever it is. And when you move on to that next
Utilize that
relationship, of
experience.
course, you're going to be observant, but don't carry over. Don't carry over all of that. What would you say now?
Hurt,
Hurt that that person have inflicted
disappointment,
upon
all of
you.
that.
Don't try not to push it on to that to another
So you'll be
individual
messing up a good thing.
because you could be messing up a good.
It's
So it's
very-
important,
I, lo-
Andre
I,
said, to
I
get
love
over the
forgiveness.
hurt.
Yeah, man.
You understand? And the first step you need to do to get over the hurt is know that you are not the problem. Examine yourself. You are not the problem. And the truth is, I believe that when an individual cheated on another person, I don't believe that the victim is ever the problem, because I believe that we all have mouths to talk about issues. If you know you're not getting something from a relationship, you don't have to go and cheat. You can talk. And if they
But
choose
what if they
not to
talk and the
reason,
person still, the person just do what they want to do nevertheless? Because
I
sometimes that's the key. I'm not saying it's that right to go and cheat, but sometimes when you do
that's why I
talk
said
and the
examine
person
yourself.
ignores what you're saying,
That's why I said examine oneself. But once you examine yourself and you see and you know, because we can't beat yourself. You understand? We will know where we go wrong. So once you know that you definitely don't have a part to play with it, just move on.
yeah,
Just move on and say no, not even waste time there. Because you have done all that you could. You
yeah,
have put your best foot forward. You have done the best you could by such an individual,
yeah,
and they choose to go and do that. That's not on you.
yeah.
You will feel hurt because you're a human being. You understand? If you want to cry in private, do it, but don't linger there because it
Don't
was
linger
not
there.
on you.
And don't overburden yourself
Yourself.
with
Even if
what
it
the
was the
person did.
Queen of Sheba or the Queen of
Move right
England,
along, man.
or if she seemed to be Miss
Life
Perfect,
is too short. Move right
yeah.
along. Move
As
right
long
along.
as you're out of it, that's the key thing.
Yeah.
You understand? It's on them. You understand?
Yeah.
And also, all right, so Andrew, you say it have happened to you 4 times. Now, what you need to examine, there's something that you two have to examine within yourself. What you're going to examine now is see, am I too much of a trusting person? There's
No,
nothing
but you
wrong to
don't
be
want it. But
trusting.
then remember, no. It's the same trust issue because I think Ron was probably someone who was
No,
very trusting and he got
you don't.
in
There's
hard.
a difference. He
Mm.
said he don't trust so easily,
Mhm.
but we can also be too trusting in the sense that okay,
It's
I
like
there's a
it's like every
pattern.
drummer will knock your dance to it. That type of
Right,
thing.
in that sense.
Mm.
Now, it have happened now for those amount of times. See if there is something that attract those type of,
Yeah. Certain
individual,
behavior
certain behavior.
that you have.
Because sometimes we all have maybe a type, and sometimes what comes along with type is some of those things that we overlook. So sometimes you have to regroup, look and see, all right, examine. Nobody know best like us when these things happen. Examine.
Yeah.
Did I saw something there, but I overlooked it? And those type of things.
So rightly as Misha said, make a list. Make a list. What were the things if it and Andre being through those 4 experiences is whole heap of experience for you to make a list and say, okay, what were the things that attracted me to this person? What were the things that I was doing? What was the thing that I saw in the person? Whatever, and then you can do your own deduction and say, you know what? All right, maybe I need to adjust myself now. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, most of the time, whether we believe it or not, we will attract some experiences that we go through.
Something.
What comes to us, real truth is what is in us pulling. We are pulling to us what is already in us. Believe it or not. So we have to then assess ourselves too and make sure say, okay, what is it that I am wanting, and whatever comes to you will only be a representation of what you're wanting. You understand, guys? No, it's an hour and a half. We would love to carry on and continue, but we're gonna have to close off here. What we'll say is that listen, we'll watch this tape and listen and or this video, and anything that we saw that was more significant that came out of it, we are going to use it as a topic for next week. for the midweek vlog, so you can at least hear how we go through it. And then of course next week Sunday we can come back and we'll have another conversation.
Yeah, have to adjust.
Right? Yeah, man. I really because Ron was saying that yes, because I need to pray. That's what this time I'm asking God for to send me
Yeah,
the
agree.
right one.
Agree.
Andre said ring light has made a
Oh,
difference.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
thank you. Thank you. That's
Happy
the
to hear.
aim.
Happy to hear. All right. So, guys, again, we hope the conversation was
Yeah.
good. And if you found it entertaining, you found it informative, you found it funny,
Share it with
share it
friends,
with others.
'cause we want to help each other.
The amount of Christian people that we know, we should have 1,000 subscribers already, because the truth is some conversation that we are having, a lot of persons need to hear,
Yeah.
right? So you guys help us to spread the word, and we'll celebrate together when we get to 1,000, and then 10,000, and then 20,000, because we really want to help, improve lives and make a difference. All right. Blessings all way. I'll keep in touch. Pray for us. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, Chris.
Christopher will do.
Yes, Chris, we will. So, guys, thanks again for
And
coming.
appreciate you guys.
Thanks for your comments. Thanks
Thank you so much
for
tapping
texting
in
and tapping in, right?
Share.
Yeah. We just want to say God bless, and until we see you again, see you on the other side.
Yeah.
Blessings.